Greetings, beloved beings, fellow travelers on this planet, and guests from other realms. My name is Izobel Freeman, and I'm going to be doing a general reading for the collective for the week of October 8th through the 14th, 2017. Well, it's been a tumultuous week on the world stage. That Jupiter-Uranus opposition I've been talking about in the last couple of readings has definitely started to flip the table in ways none of us anticipated. Hope you all are being extra good to yourselves, that you had a profound full moon in Aries, and that you got a chance to soak up some of that Mars-Venus trine Pluto magic. On a lighter note, our non-physical friends were definitely still having fun with us during last week's reading. Those of you who saw the September 24th through the 30th reading know that I asked the guides to help me make that reading extra special, and they responded by sending 3 little spirit orbs across the screen during my intro. So imagine my surprise and delight when I found one more tiny orb in last week's intro too. You can find the timestamp for it in the YouTube video description, so if you haven't seen last week's reading yet, definitely check it out. Again, I'm so grateful for these little hellos from Spirit, and I want all my benevolent guides to know they're always welcome in my videos, anytime. Before I get started with this week's reading, as I've said in previous readings, I'm doing my best to give you all a basic astrological forecast in addition to reading cards, because we often get messages regarding the week's energetic climate, and the cards themselves also have so many astrological correspondences. I want you all to have context for these, so here we go. There's a lot going on this week, and some of it's looking pretty heavy. Today we have 2 major aspects, and I'll start with the good news. The bright, beautiful sun, which rules our sense of self and how we literally shine in the world, is forming a conjunction with Mercury, the planet of communication and technology. This means your powers of thought will be extra vibrant, so it's a good day to tackle those detail-oriented tasks that require sustained focus. Clearing out your inbox, organizing, systematizing, or taking care of business in general are great things to spend time on today. As far as correspondence goes, keep things professional and diplomatic because our second aspect today is potentially challenging. Venus, the planet of love and fortune, is squaring Saturn, the planet of rules and expectations. This transit is a vulnerable one that can put stress on your intimate relationships if you or your partner have overactive internal critics. Be kind to yourself and others today. Stay heart-centered, and remember that relationships exist to reflect back to us what we need to learn at present in order to grow. If you find that you just need a little you time in order to avoid drama today, take that time. It's crucial this week to practice as much self-love as possible because the challenging energy isn't letting up. Tomorrow, the 9th, that Mercury-Sun conjunction puts both of these planets into uncomfortable square relationships with Pluto, the planet of the deep subconscious and of alchemical transformation. The Sun ruling the self and Mercury ruling the mind and communication means you might find yourself in the midst of a crisis or a debate where you need to stand up for yourself or justify your beliefs. Pluto's shadowy nature adds unknown elements into the mix, meaning your reactions could be based on knee-jerk responses to past fears or trauma, or even karma from other lives. So be sure to ground yourself and stay securely heart-centered. Meditation, prayer, or some other form of deep soul connection or therapy can help you sort out your feelings so you can let go of things that don't serve you and make room for the good that is coming. Gaining conscious awareness of your internal challenges can help you channel Pluto's transformative power into successful manifestation of your highest goals. Just remember that justifying your point of view doesn't mean you need to invalidate the beliefs of others. Forgiveness and compassion, remember them from last week's reading, will go far in helping you weather this very intense transit. Live and let love, friends. We're all in this together, and everyone's going to need a little extra slack this week. On Tuesday the 10th, Big Daddy Jupiter leaves the even-handed sign of Libra and enters the deep and transformative sign of Scorpio. This is really significant because Jupiter is a big, slow-moving planet, and he takes about 12 years to go around the wheel of the zodiac, meaning he spends about 1 year in each astrological sign. Because Jupiter is the great magnifier among the planets, whatever he touches tends to be expanded. This means the entire energy of our human experience is going to change starting Tuesday and lasting until November of 2018. The sign of Scorpio is ruled by our deep and intense friend Pluto, so expect the next year to be one of powerful changes for us as individuals and as a collective. Jupiter and Libra asked us all to take a hard look at our relationships, and now Jupiter and Scorpio will be asking us to take just as hard a look at ourselves. As a fixed water sign, Scorpio delves deep into our true feelings, but in a stable and supportive way. Jupiter's transit through this sign will be about us deciding once and for all what matters most to us on a very heart-based level, and harnessing Jupiter's expansive energy so we can really make our wishes come true. This will be a year-long process, so be patient and determined, and expect good things to manifest as a result of any challenges you may encounter along the way. Also on Tuesday, Venus opposes Chiron, meaning the Lady of Love is having a tug of war with the icy ruler of our deepest pain. Chiron is a minor planet that orbits the Sun between Saturn and Uranus, or you might say he orbits between rules and revolution. This aspect between Venus and Chiron forces us to consider how we go about getting love and approval, and what pain we may have attached to that process. Oppositions are uncomfortable, but they are actually great opportunities to balance two sides of an issue. Do you give up too much or ingratiate yourself to others in order to feel loved? Or do you withhold love from others in order to change or control their behavior? Do you have painful memories surrounding love or the lack of love? This opposition is your chance to transform all of that. At the most fundamental level, the key to giving and receiving love is to practice loving yourself first. Tuesday is a great day to look at yourself in the mirror, stare into your own eyes, and say, "I love you." Even if it feels weird or like a lie at first, the more you say this simple phrase to yourself and really mean it, the easier it will become to be yourself without shame, and to give love away because you have enough inside. You're going to need this powerful source of self-love, because, on Wednesday the 11th, Mars follows Venus in squaring Saturn. Mars rules our personal will, ambition, and aggression, so you can imagine that he doesn't take kindly to being restricted by Saturn's rules and expectations. This transit could manifest in a couple of ways. Externally, it could mean that actual authority figures in your life may attempt to limit your ability to take action on your desires, or try to thwart you in some other way. On the other hand, it could mean that your internal critic goes into overdrive, undermining your self-confidence and activating any fears you might have concerning your goals and ambitions. Taking action while you feel this way is the energetic equivalent of pushing the gas pedal and the brake at the same time. So Wednesday might best be spent meditating or distracting yourself in any way that brings you joy. Once you're joyful and confident, any action you take will have much better manifestational results. On Thursday the 12th, we'll get a supportive astrological aspect, when Mercury forms a sextile relationship with Saturn. That day, your Mercurian powers of organization, judgment, and communication will get the blessing of Saturn the schoolmaster. So it's a great time to declutter, to plan new and existing projects, to do anything business-related, or to communicate on any topic, whether it's personal or professional. Mercury also rules technology, so all things internet and gadgety are favored on Thursday. Relationships with mentors or older authority figures should also be smoother that day, so if you did have Mars-Saturn square drama on Wednesday, Thursday might be the day to make up for it. Friday the 13th looks astrologically quiet, and for those of you about to assume you should lay low that day because it's somehow unlucky, I'd like to remind you that the number 13 is actually the number of the beautiful and benevolent divine feminine. For reasons lost to Pluto's vast subconscious realm, some cultures have chosen to demonize Friday, which historically is ascribed to both Venus, the goddess of love, and to Frigga, the wife of Odin, a goddess of wisdom whose name also means beloved. What's so scary about a day devoted to the goddess of love and to the beloved wife of a god? I'm not really sure, except possibly that the concept of a male god having an equally amazing divine feminine counterpart makes some people feel icky. That and the fact that there are actually 13 lunar cycles, meaning 13 full moons in a calendar year, and women have always had a deep connection to these cycles, which allows them to produce the most precious thing of all, human life. Gives us serious food for thought this Friday the 13th. I, for one, encourage any of you who feel inspired to take back the positive and loving meanings of both Friday and the number 13, to go out and be as caring, joyful, and shiny as you possibly can this Friday. If anyone asks you what you're so happy about, feel free to tell them it's your lucky day, and just why that is. I know Venus would approve. And speaking of Venus, on Saturday the 14th, we end this crazy week as Venus leaves the sign of Virgo and enters Libra, joining the Sun and Mercury in the sign of fairness, balance, and relationships. I can't think of a better way to follow this lucky and loving Friday the 13th than to have Venus come home to her rulership in Libra, where more than in any other sign she embodies unconditional love. She'll be in Libra until November 4th, exemplifying the divine feminine qualities of compassion and nurturing. Again, if you're looking for love, love yourself first. Then see if you can channel some of Sweet Lady Venus in Libra's energy and give a little love to the wider world. We all need it. Okay, if your head is spinning after all that, I definitely don't blame you. There is so much to process this week, and I really want our friends in spirit to help make some sense of it all. So let's get to the cards, shall we? As I do in every reading, I'm going to begin by lighting my little candle for my beautiful spirit kitty Pinky, who was in physical with me until 2015 and was and still is my greatest spiritual teacher. All right, here we go. Lots going on this week. I am so, my head is spinning. If yours wasn't by the end of that astrological section, mine is. Energy is really intense. There's a lot we're all dealing with right now, and I'm really looking forward to what guidance that we're going to get. Let's flip this beautiful angel tarot deck over, as I do in all my readings, and see what our overall energy for the week is. Right, everyone, Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. This page has been with us for a couple of readings now, heralding something new on the horizon for many of us. This is that very Pluto energy. We've got so much Plutonian stuff going on this week. Heavy squares, lots of alchemical transformation, lots of purging off things that may not have previously been serving us, and being forced to reconcile ourselves with some hard stuff that's coming up from the unconscious or the subconscious shadow side of things, and looking at the darker aspects of maybe life and the game. That definitely is appropriate of some of the stuff that's going on in the news right now. Yeah, lots of crazy energy, but Page of Fire is a herald of good news. Sexes don't really mean that much in tarot, and she could be, just because she is a court card, an actual person who has either come into your life or is going to come into your life to give you news of something on the horizon that you may not have seen yet. He, she, they could be a fire sign, could be also someone who embodies these qualities, and also maybe an aspect of you that is coming to the surface. This phoenix, if you can see it here in the image, is that symbol that has been really following us for these last couple of weeks. And I really feel like not only the Pluto energy, but that it has to do with that Aries, Libra, Uranus, Jupiter opposition that I was talking about, the one that tends to take things apart in ways that we don't expect and replace them with whatever is new that needs to come into our lives. This phoenix is a powerful and positive symbol that we all need to remember, that even though stuff is hard right now and some things look like there couldn't be possibly anything good about them, somehow, some way, the events in the world, the events in our lives, whatever is challenging us, whatever has been challenging us. This reminds me of the whole Pluto retrograde period that many of us have been going through, and have been really going through a lot of this alchemical change. It is now time to use originality and ingenuity to take this darkness that has previously been a challenge for us and to turn it into beautiful, new, fiery inspiration, and possibly change the world and our lives. Remember what I said in the beginning, everything that is happening to us now is greatly affecting us on both an individual and a collective level. And so this energy continuing to be with us, very positive, very supportive, and even playful, is a really good thing. And it's very uplifting beginning to the reading. Let me begin also by shuffling in that very intuitive and loose way that allows cards to just pop up of their own accord and give us our spread for the week. Looks like we've got a couple, 2 cards for this position. As I lay down the spread called my quick cross spread, I'm going to be explaining the positions to you all. Those of you who have not seen this spread before, this is a spread I came up with intuitively on my own for my own purposes, but I am sharing it with you here in these readings. This first position is recent past into present for the collective energetically. And as we move forward, I'm going to be putting down a card, or cards, we got greedy for this first position, for the present into near future. Where the energy is going now or very soon. Wow, I'm shaking with the amount of energy happening here, and hopefully we're going to be getting some clarity, because a lot of us are facing these big Phoenix energy decisions of, hey, things are, oh, this card just wants to fly right off the bottom. I'm going to let it. Things are really crazy, and the world is getting unrecognizable to the world that I used to rely on and understand, and it's getting kind of scary for some of us, and I'm really hoping some of you had some good insights or something coming to fruition or culmination on this Aries full moon that we had. I definitely felt really strong that Venus-Mars conjunction that was happening the same day. Really amazing. All right, this next position I am shuffling for is going to be the mind or higher mind energy of the collective, followed by the heart, and then the body or subconscious wisdom. Oh, this card just wants to fly. Lots of cards wanting to fly off the bottom today. Okay, mind or higher mind. Let's get a heart card. There we go. For the heart. And body subconscious. While I am shuffling, I am inviting in all benevolent beings and guides and angels, all of our non-physical friends who love us and who are interested in our process as a collective and as a human family. This game on planet Earth. Anyone who wants to help, just wants to float off, let's let it. Body subconscious. Next position is for what can help us on our journey. Okay. And last position is what many people like to call the outcome. Those of you who have been watching me for a while know that I like to call it the most probable energetic direction we're going to be headed, because no one can predict your future. You are creating your future from moment to moment, and the future is always up to you. But there is a probable direction based on all this previous buildup. Probable direction. You always have a choice in the matter, however. Okay. Let's see what is going on in the recent past into present. There were two cards that we got for this position, so I am going to pull the one that got laid down first. Knight of Fire, passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Well, yeah, lots of crazy lightning strike energy going on, at least here in the US, for those of you who are also in the US. Something that needs immediate attention and needs decision making, needs real inspired attention placed on it. This is another court card, just like the Page of Fire. The Knight of Fire, also someone who could be a person coming into your life who has this passionate, fiery energy. Another fire sign. Possibly some of you will have a few fire signs coming into your life to show you how to take decisive action that is born from inspiration rather than desperation. There's a real challenge right now, especially with things on the world stage, to not fall into desperation and fear. There's, it's the higher mind's wish for us, the guide's wish for us, that we learn to look at the things that are going on in the world and to not take a fear-based reaction to things, to be able to say, okay, what do we prefer? What can come of inspiration? What is the good that we can find in all of this, in the experience that we're currently having? And for many of you, these might be people coming into your life to teach you that viewpoint. Yes, to think things through carefully before taking knee-jerk actions. Yes, just like I said for the Page of Fire, sexes don't always mean much in tarot. It's more the energy of the card. So it may not be a male person. It might just be someone who has this energy, or this may be an aspect of yourself that is coming up to inspire you at this time, to be decisive, to act with passion and be self-assured, but also to weigh things out and to look at things through the lens of inspiration rather than desperation. Beautiful. So much courage in this card too, which is really wonderful. Knights have that energy of that courage in moving forward. Let me see if I can get some room here. The second card is the Three of Air. Great sadness. Yep. This is definitely linked to world events right now. So many of you are reeling from stuff going on right now. I mean, on the heels of not only natural disasters, but we have incomprehensible loss, at least for those of us who are in this country right now. And in many other countries, there's crises going on all over the world. Take time to heal the need to forgive yourself or others. Remember, forgiveness and compassion, it seems to be the theme following us around from last week. They really wanted us to have 3 different cards last week. If you haven't seen last week's reading, definitely check it out, because you'll see the 3 specific cards that all just hammer on this forgiveness and compassion theme. A 3 is a number of actually divine creation, and this points to the silver lining underneath all of this sadness, this mourning, this seeing the loss of something. 3, I like to talk about numerologically, is almost as if a divine masculine and a divine feminine aspect, or opposites in the world, come together somehow to unite in one common cause or a common caring about something, and to produce something new. You can see it in this family of unicorns here. Divine masculine, divine feminine coming together to produce some sort of divine offspring or new solution to a problem or new creativity, something that is born out of tragedy. This card, air cards are all about the mind, and so this points to the need to think about the situation. And you can see this, think things through carefully. These 2 combined are letting us know that the guides are acknowledging, yes, great sadness. Somehow in this sadness, somehow out of tragedy, an opportunity to create through divine alchemical fire. This is that energy of Pluto. This is that energy of Uranus-Jupiter opposition. Uranus and Pluto are both highly transformative planets, and Jupiter is a great magnifier. So their energy coming through, and also those Mars-Venus hard aspects that are this week with Pluto, definitely shaking us up in lots of ways, testing our strength, testing our fortitude, testing our ability to have forgiveness and compassion, to understand one another, to look at the world not as a place where it's us versus them, but that it's a place where we're all in this together, and we can find some sort of empowering result out of this. This is our challenge. This is the guides acknowledging that we have what it takes to do this, but yes, also acknowledging we need to take time to heal from these tragedies and these challenges. Also, some of you may be going through this in your individual lives on the heels of that end to the Pluto retrograde, and also the, again, Uranus-Jupiter opposition, and the hard aspects that have been going on both last week and this week. Some of you are enduring things in your personal life, not just things on the world stage being crazy, but things in your own personal life challenging you and rocking you to your very foundation. But the guides coming in to let us know that we do have their support, and they are acknowledging that we need to do whatever it takes to heal. Take that time. Do whatever process makes you feel whole and helped and loved. Surround yourself with supportive community. Go out in nature. Feel the love of the planet. You can see these three, whatever it is that they are mourning about, they are in this nature environment. And remember that you time I was talking about in the astrology section? Definitely take that, but realize that something good, just like that page of fire was talking about, something new coming over the horizon, some good effect coming from these challenges. And this is recent past into present. So let's see where we're going into near-ish future. Okay, 9 of Water, your wish comes true. Concerns fade away. You have a love of life. This 9 is the numerological essence of completion of a cycle. Remember that the air card that we got at the beginning of the spread last week that was talking about, it was a 6 of air, talking about the end of a difficult situation. This could be pointing to some of you, and this is a very heart-based energy. Water cards are all about emotions and how we feel. So processing all of this, figuring out, going through whatever self-love process that we need to go through to deal with sadness, to become inspired somehow, and to feel forgiveness and compassion for self and others, because this is what is waiting for us. This is that hidden treasure. You can see all of these amazing chalices, at least I hope you can see them, filled with gems and pearls and great treasures of all types. And this is what is waiting for you if you can somehow reconcile these energies, if you can somehow find meaning in these challenges that are going on in both your own life and in the world, because something good is coming, this wish. And some of you might have heard inklings of this at Aries full moon. Full moons are all about culmination. And so you might have gotten that page of fire news that something good is coming out of things. You can see light at the end of the tunnel. And this is that great reminder. Remember that with the heart card from last time, that they were reminding us to stay heart-centered and make sure that we were seeing with the heart and not with the mind. This is good. I'm really excited for this 9 of Water. This is a beautiful promise that there is a silver lining underneath this, and that there will be healing on the horizon, and a great wish that many of us have been waiting for, coming about because of sacrifice, because of something being transformed alchemically, just like that phoenix in the beginning at on the page of fire card. That phoenix energy, something old passes away in order for something new to be born. And this wish coming true is that beautiful promise that this process that we're going through that's really not fun is the birth of something beautiful, something we've been waiting for. Ah, beautiful. Let me see what's in the mind or higher mind of the collective. Strength. Remember Ariel? She's been hanging around in a couple of readings back, once as the overall energy and once here in the help position, and now she is securely in mind or higher mind. This is absolutely the energy that will help bring us through. And some of us, it looks like, because this is in mind position and higher mind of the collective, we are strong. This is that, again, reminder that we have great strength, great inner strength. Release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. Again, the need to forgive yourself or others, this forgiveness and compassion. Second card on this reading, and after the 3 cards last time, they're really hammering on this forgiveness and compassion. I know that for some of you who are going through individual hardships in which you need to forgive yourself and others, that's one thing. But when you see things played out on a world stage, on a very large level that need this energy to come in, we're not always used to going here, to have forgiveness, to have compassion. When something so big that we can't even fathom it happens, and we need to all take a step back. And I guess it really depends on your cosmology in these types of issues. When something gets that big, it really depends on whether or not you believe that we are eternal beings and that we are here in this earthly game, simulation, school, whatever you'd like to call it. This earth experience has a purpose. And if you believe that you are an eternal being and that this experience does have purpose and that there are reasons for these things playing out the way that they do, you have more access to this forgiveness and compassion. You have the possibility of transmuting anything that seems like a horrible thing into a wish fulfilled, realizing that there is an amazing gift that we have all been given whenever something drastic happens on the world stage. And if you choose to subscribe to that cosmology, which I do, I always have great respect and love and appreciation and gratitude for those who are energetically on a soul level placing themselves in those positions so they can be examples to the rest of us. That is always quite profound to me, and I feel compelled, based on the energy of this card, to let you know that the souls who are involved in tragedy, or who are involved in natural disaster, or who are involved in being some sort of example to teach the rest of us how to solve issues of duality, issues of us versus them, issues of our disagreeing of how to live rightly as human beings on this planet. Those souls are so highly evolved and they are so masterful in their development that they, on some soul level in their charts, have this calling to teach the rest of us. Teach the rest of us to be like them, to have the strength, to forgive and have compassion, to become the leaders that we need to be. This being in the higher mind position also points to the fact that it's linked to that Leo leadership, royal energy that I've been hammering on ever since through and since the great solar eclipse in America on August 21st. This noble leadership that needs to step in now. And also this strength card being this 11. I talk about this a lot in whenever the strength card does show up, that depending on the system of tarot that you're using, the number 11 card is either the Strength card or the Justice card. And isn't this very interesting to have, usually the Justice card has this, that has sort of the pillars of justice on it and has the scales of Libra. And 11 is a master number, teaching us that it is the first gateway to a divine mastery, a divine outlook on life, one that elevates itself above the everyday ways of looking at things and takes a more eternal, sort of big picture view of events on the planet and relationships. And what does it mean to have the Strength card or the Justice card in number 11 have this forgiveness and compassion message? Because justice has a sort of balanced, it's very Libra, it's very, tit for tat. If someone does something, they must pay for it in some way. But compassion has a different energy. And having it on the Strength card with this very sort of warrior-like angel, Ariel is the guardian of not only the human race, but every creature and every living thing on the planet. You can see this globe in the corner. You can see the doves of peace following her around. And yes, she has weapons, and she is riding this amazing royal divine golden cat, it has that very Leo energy, even though this is a tiger in this illustration. It just very has that royal lion, big cat, Regulus, kingly, queenly energy. But you can see that she's got this pink energy around her shield and around her halo, which points to her ability to be very, very heart-based. Pink is a compassionate, loving, unconditionally forgiving color of the heart chakra. And this is just that little secret nod that you can be strong and you can be a leader and you can be royal without being warlike. Releasing the harsh judgments that might make you want to continue the cycle of violence on this planet, and instead choosing to see the larger reasons for things, the more eternal reasons for things, and to adopt forgiveness and compassion as your modes of operation. And this is a big deal right now for all of us, whether we're facing stuff in our private lives or whether we're watching things happen on the world stage. Higher mind definitely wants us to keep this in lower mind as well. Let's move on to the heart position. Sorry, that was a big deal. It was a big download, but guides really want us to, this is heavy stuff we're all processing. This is all big deal, big picture, collective pain that we're dealing with. And this is something we all need right now. All right, heart-based card. 10 of fire. Okay. Some of you have too much work going on, and we're all feeling very overwhelmed by stuff that's going on in the world. We need to accept help from others. Life seems out of balance. Life is out of balance, so says this card. And many of us are facing these stress-related health concerns. This is what happens when we get a shock to our system. This is what happens when sometimes that Uranus, Jupiter energy comes along. And it only comes along every so often. And when it does, it rocks our world in some major way. This 10 of fire, following on the heels of this 9, 10 is that reinvention number. 10 reduces to a 1. You see the 1 and the 0 of the 10. Numerologically, they collapse into a 1, meaning this 10 is the number of the not only ending of a cycle that a 9 represents, but a complete reinvention and a starting over of a cycle. Lots of alchemical fire on the board. Lots of sort of Plutonian energy. This again, this full moon, maybe some of you are having these realizations in that very us versus them, Uranus, Jupiter, opposition charged Aries full moon that we just had. And some of you saw the secret in the moon during the Venus-Mars conjunction, which collapsed the dualities, which collapsed male and female, which put them both in the same exact point in the sky and taught us this deep and esoteric lesson of there is no us versus them, there is only us. It's very interesting that, some of us are many of us, definitely feeling the burn of alchemical fire in the heart right now and trying desperately to figure out how to process great sadness, how to learn to forgive and have compassion, but also support the other secret of this card, which is its sister card, the Justice card. How do we have justice, but also forgiveness and compassion? Again, dualistic concepts that need to be reconciled in some way. And the guides, our non-physical friends, all of our angels, all of our spirit friends who love us, know that we have the strength to somehow reconcile this issue. And the heart is feeling overwhelmed, and that is really understandable. Those of you who are suffering from these stress-related health concerns do need to take time to heal, just like this Three of Air is letting you know. You need to take time, step back, get into nature, touch the planet, surround yourself with supportive friends and family, find community who understands you, do something, change. You've got to break the cycle. You can see this sort of basilisk, cockatrice type creature here has this pot full of all the wands because it's hoarding them. It is trying to either keep all its options open, or it's trying to handle everything on its own, trying to process everything just on its own, by itself. And that causes that energy to be overwhelming. And you can see here that it's about to bite itself. You can see that it's that self-eating energy. Basilisks in mythology also have the power to turn you to stone if you look at them. And this speaks to this overwhelm, this petrification that happens when there's so much going on and you just want to throw up your hands because you can't process all of it. And this 10 of Fire is very difficult to have in the heart. But there is a secret in this card, in that it is that 10. It is that 10 that reduces to a 1, meaning, again, it's the end of a cycle. Just like the Page of Fire with her Phoenix is telling you, there's something good coming out of all of this if we have the strength to get through it with forgiveness and compassion for both self and others. And to practice that self-love that I was definitely harping on in the beginning section, where you really need to look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself, and to do what it takes to take care of your health, to heal from sadness, and to let go of the things that do not serve you, so that you can begin to move forward in some new way. We're really being put to the test this week. All right, body subconscious wisdom. Queen of Earth, remember her? She's been also hanging around with us. Yeah, help position once, beginning once, and now at the root level. This is really, really good news, because we had that 8 of Air hanging out there for a while. We had some of you who had that lack of self-confidence going on for a little bit, but now it looks like some of you have really gotten out and taken the guide's advice and touched the planet. We realize that the heart is afraid. The higher mind is coming in to try to help with this deep strength and this offering of these forgiveness and compassion concepts for us to solve these issues of duality. A 9 of Water letting us know that we've got this very beautiful emotional heart energy that will make some sort of great wish come true if we have the strength and if we can have courage through this cycle. Queen of Air, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. If this doesn't feel like that, forgiveness and compassion. Yeah, it really does. Ariel, the guardian of the earth, and the Queen of Earth herself. This also feels like the last days of Venus in Virgo. Venus in an earth sign right now. Very helpful, very healing, very nurturing, very like a nurse in a way. And we do need that. We do need that self-care, and we need that helping. Make time for those around you, meaning do something for someone this week. Do something, whether it's sending aid to a cause that you think is important, or whether it is reaching out to someone who is maybe having this 10 of fire issue, to connect on that level, but also to connect energetically through knowing that we are all one family on planet Earth. Queen of Earth, also another court card, could be an earth sign coming into your life to teach you how to be this way. To those of you who still have that trepidation or that root-based, very survival and worthiness-based fear here that's been sort of hanging out in the root level for a little while. Someone coming in to help, and she was in that help position before, so maybe she is. Both of these cards were in the help position in very recent previous readings. So it's great that some of us have internalized them now, that this is really good energy to have both at the root level, very foundational, survival issues taken care of, nurturing energy to have at the root and the body subconscious level. I've said this before, but you can see that in this card, she has so much abundance that her cauldron of plenty is overflowing, and she has enough to not only support herself without scarcity, but also to give to everyone around her. And that is how she can make time for those around her without this sense of giving too much up. This card is a feeling of trying to do too much without having enough for yourself. This card has the opposite feeling of being able to do a lot because you have enough for you. Yes, definitely. Those of you who have not quite reached this place yet, definitely a clue being in this root level to go out, touch the planet, to sit in a beautiful place, to sit in nature, to perhaps lean against a tree or find a beautiful body of water or a river, some place that you can hear the wind, you can hear the water, you can hear the trees talking, and you can feel the love of the planet. This is a beautiful divine feminine archetype. Both of these are beautiful divine feminine archetypes to be able to, and both very squarely connected to the planet, letting us know that we have divine support, we have love, and that we're all in this together. And so the more that we can pull together and have forgiveness and compassion and help everyone, rather than having an us versus them mentality or a me, mine, but how can we help everyone mentality and instinct here at the root level, the better off we will be. Wonderful. Speaking of being better off, let's see what's in the help position. All right, 5 of Earth. Some of you need to be aware when a sort of like off balance card is in the help position. This is the guides letting us know that we need to be aware of these things and focusing on these, bringing up that sort of Plutonian stuff that's being dredged up for us. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others. Wow. It's really interesting. Now a couple of repeating themes here: accept help from others and the wisdom to accept help from others. This could be, again, when this is in the help position, they're letting us know what themes that we can focus on. This is that uncertain self-employment. 5s are, I like to call the halfway there numbers. They are also very human numbers because we have 5 fingers and 5 toes and 5 major body appendages. We have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. 5 is a very human number. It's a number of process. It's a number of going through process and accepting that we're going through process, forgiving ourselves for feeling stuck in the middle, for feeling like we're overwhelmed, for feeling like we might not know the answers right now, and to realize that we're not just a human as in singular, but we're humanity as a collective. And these cards looking to teach us to reach out to the collective, to look for inspiration from kindred spirits who can help us. And maybe these court cards, this Knight of Fire, the Page of Fire, the Queen of Earth coming in to help us, and that we need to have the wisdom to listen to their advice and to possibly allow them to help us become more abundant or feel more abundant, because many of us are having these fears about real survival-based issues. And who knows, we could also be seeing this kind of ripples in the world stage from recent news events or things making people afraid. Yeah. And afraid, this is that card that always speaks of, I'm afraid to do what inspires me because I don't know if it will really support me. I don't know. I'm afraid to shine in the world. I'm afraid to move forward as a self-assured, passionate person because I don't know if my survival feels like it's in jeopardy. And the guides want us to know that this is an issue, that we need to accept help from others. And yeah, I'm going to clarify this card, definitely. The 10 of Fire and the 5 of Earth, definitely getting clarification. Let's see, before I do that, where the most probable energy direction we're going. Okay, wow, so much fire in this reading. King of Fire. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, charismatic, focus, 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 communicate with vision and be a leader, advice from someone creative. Look, if you didn't need more confirmation to accept help from others, someone who, again, all these fire signs. Watch for those fire signs, those of you who have new people coming into your life. Fire, wow. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, might not be a male person, might be he, she, them, but yeah, they have these traits. They have this ability to show you how to move forward. So you've got the Page, the Knight, and the King. Almost an entire court here coming in with fiery, alchemical energy to help you possibly transform this problematic fire card that does have a secret silver lining in that it's a complete reinvention, and the new beginning is hidden in this trauma. It really is. This process has a new beginning hidden right in it, and it's right in the heart. And so it just points to that, again, our secret superpower, to use heart-based energy to transform any difficulty into something beautiful and make our wishes come true. Yeah, so again, more people coming in, or aspects of you that are very fiery, idealistic, and inspired. Yeah, also this very kind of Leo feeling strength card up here. It really feels linked to all these other fire cards, and I'm really hoping that some of you are ignited. And that again is another another upside, for lack of a better word, to these hard things that we go through that bring us great sadness. Anytime we are faced with a great challenge in our lives or on a very public world stage planetary level, it always has the result of inspiring visionaries, inspiring amazing people to come up with new and innovative ways. Remember, use your ingenuity and creativity from that Page of Fire card. Always has that effect of bringing to the surface the people who really believe in a brighter future, who want to make things better, and who have maybe a different way of being leaders. Communicate with vision and be a leader. If those of you who are watching who feel like somehow, some way you have a way to solve these things, that if you could just give your gift, your beautiful wish, if your wish could come out and be given to the planet and be shared with everyone, that the world would be a brighter, more beautiful, more loving place. Hear the message of these cards. Look at this ring here of amazing, inspiring cards right on the outside, on the outskirts, waiting to help. those of you who do have that inner fire developing and who have been inspired by recent events, both privately in your life and out externally in the world, to do something amazing, to use your ingenuity and creativity to bring some new problem-solving modality into being and to be a leader in that respect. Wow, go for it. Don't listen to this overwhelm. Let's clarify this while I'm on that topic. I'm going to get clarification. I think most of us know, who are going through this great sadness and need this time to heal. We know about this. And I want to take this opportunity to send my love to those of you who are going through great hardship. This is not an easy thing. Do whatever you need to do. Whatever amount of self-love, whatever amount of meaningful action or meaningful contemplation, prayer, connection to the divine, whatever it is that you need. Therapy, talking to someone who understands. Do whatever it takes, because this is valid and worthy, and I'm not going to clarify it because it deserves to be here. All right. So let's see here. Stay. To clarify the 10 of fire, please. And also the 5 of earth. Okay, let's see what they have for us for clarification. Six of fire. Okay, victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. Remember that Chariot card that was hanging out here and it was all hammering about public recognition? Again, if you take this 10 of fire and you transform it into its new beginning, take it, put it through that Phoenix process from the Page of Fire and turn it into a 1. Turn it into a new beginning. Cut away the things that don't serve you. Cull out from your life whatever is dragging you back and making you feel overwhelmed. Accept help from supportive others. That means people who may be coming in, these court people. Also, beautiful non-physical aid that is coming in, archangels. And attend to your stress-related health concerns and give yourself time to heal. If you can master this process, if you can figure out how to take this 10, which is the ending, and turn it into 1, which is a beginning, you are going to get ultimate victory. You can say this is a parade, this is a triumphant processional where the conquering hero comes home and everyone can see that good work has been done. Again, this idea that if you focus, you be a leader, you use your vision, you use your ingenuity and creativity to transform this pain into something amazing, you will not only be ultimately victorious, you will get that good news that the Page of Fire is talking about. Your wish will come true. Your concerns will fade away. You will have this love, emotional, water-based victory. And you also have this fiery, passionate, alchemical transformation victory, which results in public recognition or awards. But also this 6 is the number of love. So wonderful that this 9 is the ending of the cycle here, this culmination in a water-based, love-based card. And the 6 of fire has love in it too. This is just letting you know that anything that is done out of inspiration and not from desperation, everything that is inspired will result in joy. All joy, all love is connected to all other love and joy. So the more we can lean towards our noble, forgiving, and compassionate nature, our loving selves, and Find the passion, find the inspiration to look at things from a solution-based mentality instead of a problem-based mentality. The more victory will be the result. So look at that. Such wonderful clarification and comfort and support coming from the guides for this card. Let's take a look at this help position, 5 of Earth. Okay, the Page of Air, another court card, possibly another person, possibly an air sign, like a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Yeah, logical, honest, impulsive, curious, challenging information, delays or changes to plans, truth delivered possibly without tact. Air cards, again, very intellectual, very no nonsense. You can see that she carries a sword. Air cards in this Angel Tarot deck are related to the Suite of Swords in traditional tarot. And these are the characters, these air signs are very, very good at helping you cut away all the things that do not serve you. Making those decisions in your life that simplify your life, that reduce overwhelm, that make things a little bit easier to comprehend, less confusing, less... You reduce things so that they're in bite-sized chunks, making better processes. Oh, remember, this feels also like that crazy Mercury energy that we've got this week. We've got a couple of good Mercury aspects. This is definitely feeling like that. Mercury, the ruler of Gemini. So yeah, Mercury conjunct Sun today, and then we've got that Mercury sextile Saturn later in the week. This could really be helpful to some of you who are really feeling that 10 of fire overwhelm. Just know that the Page of Air, whether it be a she or a he or they, has challenging information. They sometimes are pretty blunt. So if this aspect comes up in yourself, or if a new person comes into your life to help you with these trepidatious, like these fears surrounding money or uncertain self-employment, or worry about being overwhelmed, or possibly to help you address those overwork, stress-related health concerns, they're not going to pull any punches. Air signs in general don't really pull punches. They just kind of tell it how it is. And so this is something you're going to need to expect, but it's good. It's in the help position, so it's definitely going to help you. The information might be blunt or come out in a very abrupt way or be challenging, maybe possibly a little bit hard to hear when it first gets articulated, but it's good. It really, really is. So those of you on those, especially look out for those Mercury aspected days. You may get new information that is maybe tough love, but eventually will be for your greatest good. Wow, so many court cards. Look at this. Beautiful. It's supportive. It is empowering, but also acknowledging the hardship that many of us are going through and offering great help. Planet, divine feminine coming forward in really great strength here, literally, to help. And yeah, every element on the board helping too. Great. I feel like that's pretty clear. Again, this deserves to be here. I'm going to let it stand because sometimes you need to feel the hardship. You need to feel the hurt in order to be inspired to make some sort of world-shifting change. And I think it's very empowering. Beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at our shortcuts. I think we all need some support. And I'm trying to find really good, uplifting, nurturing. Yeah, we all need some nurturing. Wow. Let's do the Flower Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue. This is, you can see this very pink, heart-based, almost sentimental energy. I really want to be sensitive to this place that many of you are in right now. Let's see what the guides have for us. First step in my shortcut process is just to flip the deck. Okay, everyone, let go of anxiety. Lavender. Calm your nerves and you'll be able to hear the voice of your angels. Yes. Pointing to the fact that some of you might need a little more lavender in your lives, this healing process and this recovery from stress-based health issues. Lavender is an incredibly loving, protective plant, and this could be a great essence to bring into your life, especially those of you who are having trouble sleeping right now. I know that insomnia is a big problem when you're going through emotionally based challenges. So lavender, definitely good. Maybe a warm bath with lavender in it. Ooh, that feels good too, to calm the nerves, because we cannot hear this amazing and strong and supportive voice of higher mind if we do not let go of some of the anxiety. If we're existing in that anxious state, anxiety and the high, loving, blissful vibration of spirit, they don't play nice. They're kind of like oil and water. And so in order to raise your vibration so that you can get in the vicinity, the high vicinity, at least you've got to get to hope. Actually, it could even be peace. They're letting me know. There's an emotional kind of scale of things. And if you're in fear, you're way at the bottom. Fear, and then you could rise up to maybe get angry. Even getting angry and passionate about something is better than having fear. Because anger is an active emotion. Anger means you can take some sort of action or to get some sort of control in your life. So if you're in fear or anxiety, maybe the closest you can get to hope or peace is anger. So go there if you need to. Get feisty, go get active, join some sort of cause and help out in some way, in a very forceful warrior. That's that warrior stance, right? So do that, or try to meditate, try to get to peace. If you can get, again, touch the planet, get out there and meditate or pray or talk to your guides in whatever way seems appropriate to you. If you can get to peace, if you can get to just this place where you can breathe a little easier. And for those of you really going through grief, I understand. You're not going to get there right away, and that's okay. But know that you have guides, you have these angels, you have these non-physical friends who are waiting to help you, who are waiting to speak in very loving and inspiring ways, and possibly give you some aid to help you overcome these challenges. But yeah, you cannot really hear them until you get to the range of peace and possibly hope. And then you can hear, you have access. You're in the range of that bliss and joy spectrum where they can maybe reach down and you can meet on some sort of equal ground. And that is the challenge with reaching spirit, is that spirit is on a very high vibrational level, and where our non-physical friends are is a very blissful place. And if we are not anywhere near there, it's very hard to hear guidance from source. So yeah, I'm just letting you know, you need to do your best to let go of anxiety. I'm going to cut. Okay, smile, sunflower. Simply smile and notice the profound and healing difference it makes. Yeah, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Remember how I said it would really do a lot of you good to stare in the mirror into your own eyes and say, I love you. And saying that is really hard at first for some people, because a lot of people are not used to saying I love you to themselves. Just like a lot of people are not used to smiling if they don't feel like smiling. But sometimes the physiological response of simply smiling physically can have that backward effect. That being said, give yourself reasons to smile. Go out and actively look for funny movies or spend time around those people who are warm and make time for those around them. Find reasons to smile. Surround yourself with as much positive energy as you possibly can. And the more you spend time in that laughing place, find reasons to laugh, share funny experiences with others. And the more you spend time in that space, the more your vibration raises, the more your overall mood, the weather patterns of your psyche shift, and you are able to hear the voice of inspiration. And you may just get high enough in that emotional scale to catch fire, to catch a whiff of that divine, fiery, inspired, idealistic energy that can then propel you forward with great speed and turn you into this amazing, luminous being who has come through a lot. You've been transformed by fire and trauma and pain, and you are now glowing from within and able to lead in a way that you may not have been able to if you had not experienced something. So yeah, to surround yourself with love and smile. Yeah. Okay. Open your arms to receiving, eucalyptus. You've prayed for help, now be open to accepting it. This is directly speaking to this, again, the wisdom to accept help from others. And that help from others doesn't always come from physical people, even though there's enough court cards on this reading, in this reading to say that you do have physical people trying to help, but also non-physical aid. And this whole spread, the shortcut is looking like it's teaching you how to get yourself in the vicinity vibrationally or emotionally so that you can have non-physical aid in addition to this physical aid. You've got to leave the emotional door cracked to be open to accepting help from higher mind, from source, from your beloved loved ones who may have passed on, from anyone in spirit who is trying to connect with you and trying to help you. You've got to be open to it. And you also have to be open to accepting this help from these other humans who are coming into your life, or any other good that's trying to get into your life that you may not be seeing because you're in the midst of either anxiety, fear, anger, or deep sadness. Anywhere in this constellation of sort of low vibration, not so fun emotions really closes you off to being able to see the good that is trying to get into your life. And this card is just reminding you to be open to receive, because something good is coming. Remember what I was talking about in the astrology section about the good that is coming. You have to get rid of or take your focus off of the things that are not serving you, including the emotional states that are not serving you, in order to be open to the good. This good, some wish that you've been wishing for. You've prayed for help, it says. You've been wishing for something, and in order to let it in, you've got to shift how you're looking at things. You've got to shift your emotional state and get in the vicinity of at least hope. Hope, peace is good to be able to hear your guides, and hope is the first rung on that hope, joy, bliss sort of area of vibration. Hope is the bottom level of being able to actually attract that wish, what it is that you really, really want, the things that you've been praying for. So yeah, a beautiful and supportive shortcut to let you know that you have the key in your emotional state, and take as long as you need, do whatever it takes to go through your grieving process, to go through your sadness, to process whatever it is that has happened in your life that needs processing. You have absolute validity in going through that process, and you can take as long as you want. Non-physical eternity Non-physical lives in this timeless place, and so they're not going anywhere. Your guides are not going anywhere. They will wait for as long as you want, until you're ready to let go of anxiety, to bring more joy into your life, and to open your arms to receiving that which you really want. Beautiful. Something that I feel inspired to say for some of you, when you've gone through a really deep hardship, when maybe you've lost someone special to you, or maybe you have endured some sort of great disappointment in your life, and you're feeling that need to process that, and maybe you feel a mix of sadness and anger and despair or fear, all mixed up, all balled up into some like unsolvable tangle. When you're feeling that, sometimes it's actually possible not to want things to get better because you're so pissed off about what has happened, or you're so upset about what you've just been through, and you don't want things to be good because that would possibly lessen the impact or lessen the validity of this great pain that you have been through, or maybe make it so that if I have joy, or if I have this wish, then this thing that I've been through doesn't mean as much. And I have been through that type of experience, and I've been there, and I feel really inspired to let those of you who are sitting right there know that, again, you can be here as long as you want. You can put as much importance and energy and commemorate this experience as much as you need, and make it as important in your life as you want it to, or as you want it to be. And there will come a point, at some point in your life, maybe in the far future, when you are again ready for this, when you're ready for love, when you're ready to be happy again. And it might take a while, but when that day comes, it's tempting to feel guilty or to feel opposed to letting that in for you. Like you're not allowed to be happy, or you don't want to be happy because, again, it would lessen the meaning of what this tragedy or trauma was. But we're all beloved eternal beings, and we deserve joy. All of our non-physical friends, all those who have passed on who love us, everyone in spirit wants us to be happy. And this victory is on its way. And we can either be, for lack of a better term, maybe this is a little bit air sign of me, but we can either be dragged kicking and screaming into love. And those of us who tend to fight the hardest tend to need to die, cross over, in order to be dragged kicking and screaming back to heaven or back to love. Or we can reach that somehow in our physical life. We can reach that and be open to it. And but when we decide to let it in is up to us. And cards are gently letting us know that we have control, and we have tools, emotional tools to use to get in the vicinity of joy and to let all of that we've wished for and prayed for in. Great. Beautiful shortcut. Those of you other tarot readers out there who would like to use my quick cross spread or my shortcut spread or process are more than welcome to do so. You just need to, I've made these spreads available through Creative Commons license, so you just need to attribute them to me and link to my website, which is www.shinyallthetime.com, and you can find all of the attribution requirement information. You can just cut and paste it from my page at shinyallthetime.com/CC, which stands for Creative Commons. All right, let's do a second shortcut. Let's see here. There's a lot going on, and I really, really want to still have supportive energy. Because there's a lot of divine feminine stuff going on, let me see what this goddess deck has to tell us. Una, easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. All right, everyone. This is something that, There's a lot of fire on the board that is going to rocket us forward. But again, take the time to heal. You know where you are, you know what you need, and there's no point judging where you are and trying to do more than you're ready for. This is a very loving, peaceful, you can see the dove of peace here. You can see the rainbow of all the aligned chakras, meaning that it's a balancing. It's a process that we're all going through. Look at the rainbow of colors on this board. Look at all of the elements that have come forward to help you. There are times for things, and there is a process that you're going through, and there's a spectrum, just like the spectrum of light. There's a spectrum of emotions that you're working up through. Just like these flower cards we're talking about, you can exist in the lower emotions of anxiety, anger, and fear, or you can start to lift yourself up by smiling, by finding things to be joyful about, into the spectrum of happiness, maybe hope. And if you can spend a little more time there, then you have opened your heart. Your heart chakra will become active, and you will activate the power to let in those good things into your life and to become stronger for having gone through the anxiety, fear, and grief and anger, and get to a point where you will be some sort of new, empowered, masterful leader who can teach others and also support those around you because you have enough inside. Beautiful. But in the meantime, this is your process, and everyone takes a different amount of time to go through it, so easy does it. Don't judge yourself through this process. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. There's no need to hurry. Okay. Mawu, Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. Wow, lots of environmental craziness, weather-based disasters that are going on with the planet, reminding us that the planet is going through a tough time right now. We are not only going through a tough time, the whole planet is going through a tough time. And Mawu, Mother Earth, the Queen of Earth, showing up to let us know that we're, again, all in this together. And also Ariel, the guardian of the planet, with, again, those doves of peace here. And the whole entire planet, every living thing. We're all in this together. It's time for us to start thinking like a planetary consciousness, thinking about what's good for everyone. And also, not just everyone who's human, everyone on the planet, including the animals, the plants. Yeah, the ecosystems. Beautiful. Okay. Nematona, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. This is that thing where the flower cards are gently telling us we need to listen for the divine, very quiet voice of Source. And this Earth card also, and Mother Earth, these beings, Source does not speak loudly. It does things easy and with compassion and with peace and a very quiet voice. And this is something that I haven't really talked that much about, visiting power places or creating a power place of your own. I've mentioned briefly taking the time out to meditate. Maybe those of you who are suffering from this work-based or stress-based overwhelm or stress-induced health issues, taking that time to give yourself at least 15 minutes to meditate, to take a vacation from your ego, to quiet your mind, to calm your anxieties, and to listen to the voice of your guides. And this one is speaking to the further need to create a space for yourself to do that. To go out in nature. There are certain places in the world, you may have heard of concepts like vortices or powerful earth ley line crossings, places in the earth that are kind of akin to our chakras. You can see. The earth has chakras too, for those of you who have never heard this concept before. And making a pilgrimage to a place like that, to sit in that divine energy, to bask in its love, to feel supported by the planet, to connect with the quiet voice of your guides and with source, God, goddess, whatever, however you like to think of as the divine, to set aside some sacred space for yourself or to visit one of those places on the planet can be super powerful for you. Just by your action of doing that, you send a message to source, to your guides, that you are ready for more, that you're ready possibly for your prayers to be answered, that you are willing to take action, not just think about it, hope about it, wish about it, but you're willing to take action towards it and to give it priority in your life. This is a big deal for some of you who have never thought this way before, to open up some space, to also take back some space from your everyday cluttered, overworked, overwhelmed, stressed out life that's represented by this 10 of fire. If you can find a place, maybe it's a park you love to go to, or maybe it's a corner of a room that you love, that it has a nice sunbeam at certain times of the day, and create a little place for you, a little place apart that you can dedicate to your meditations, your prayers, your communion with the divine. Maybe put some lavender in it, maybe fill it with crystals, make it into someplace beautiful that you can feel peace. Anything that you can do environmentally to support yourself and to raise your vibration, make you feel better. It's very, very powerful action to take. And it sends that message to source that you are ready for more, that you are ready. And those of you who are going through this mourning process, creating an altar can be super powerful. I mean, you've seen what I've done here, and how I like to dedicate my readings and invite in my beautiful spirit kitty who passed in 2015. Incidentally, she does not call that her death day. She calls it her birthday, and she wants you all to know that she feels like that was the day she was actually born and went home to spirit and became who she really is, instead of a finite being here in physical. And that, maybe some of you who are in mourning right now for actual people that you have lost, or loved ones who have passed on, or animal friends, or anyone who you are missing right now and are in this place where you're processing that. Remember that they call it their birthday. They really feel like it's the day they become more who they are. They expand. They no longer carry around any of their limitations or their pain from this life. They are so much more alive than they ever were when they were in this experience. And this is their message for us. And creating a space dedicated to your love for that person, or your love for that animal friend, or whoever it is who has passed on, can be really powerful. It can be a really great place for you to commune after you've processed, after you've gone through the sadness part. It can be wonderful to sit in the peace and the joy, and to possibly connect and to receive these beautiful previews of your wishes coming true. Because I can guarantee you that the people you love, or the animal friends, or the spirit guides that you love or who love you, are watching with great anticipation to see us in our joy when we receive all of these beautiful things. They are living with us and through us. And it's so powerful and wonderful every time you can feel them sort of peeking in on you, through looking through your eyes, having experiences through you. And this is how they continue to live on. And this is why we all have a deep feeling that we continue to be connected. And this is the evolution of spirit through our life experiences. They get to keep being involved in our process as we continue to live life. So amazing. Yes, beautiful decks. I love these. I don't get to use these as often as I might like, but for this particular sensitive spread, I felt like Divine Feminine energy, really nurturing, and the flower therapy cards. Any of you who would like to acquire these decks for yourself, I do have a resources page at shinyallthetime.com. It's shinyallthetime.com/resources, or you can follow the resources link at the top of any shinyallthetime.com page. And if you purchase a deck of cards through my resources page, a small percentage does come back to me to support future videos and to support my website. So any of you who do purchase cards through that resources page, I thank you in advance. I am going to do our Angel Answers card. Flip. All right, everyone, look for a sign. This is that thing that's kind of like this wish coming true, this thing, or the good news that the page of fire was talking about. Good news on the horizon, some sort of good thing coming out of all of this challenge that we're going through. Look for a sign of it. The universe does not speak really loudly, and this is why I think the flower therapy cards were talking about raising our emotional vibration, getting somewhere in the vicinity of peace. If you can meditate, 15 minutes a day and get yourself to that peaceful place where your mind shuts down and you stop worrying about things for just like a few minutes. You don't have to be there the whole 15 minutes. Even a few minutes will really work. And then you will give yourself room for the signs to come in, for you to get an inspiration. You might have a new thought. You might have a new, you might imagine some new amazing solution for an existing problem. Someone might call you at the right time. One of these possible new people or friends, supportive soul family friends who are here on earth with us might call you with an idea, or you might see something in the myriad other ways that the universe likes to talk to us. Sometimes you might, like I said in a couple of other readings, you might see a billboard that seems like it's talking directly to you. You may open a book and it has a passage in it that is addressing the very issue that you've been wanting answers about. You might see butterflies or birds from spirit letting you know that your loved ones who have passed on are still with you, and they want you to know that they're checking up on you and that they're still connected and interested in your life, and that you should live your life with joy because they want to watch you do it. Or maybe you might get an inside joke. Someone could come along with a t-shirt that could have a phrase on it that that only your loved one used to say to you, right? Look for a sign. This is the way that the universe speaks to you. This is all sorts of really subtle, quiet ways that require you to keep your eyes open, keep your mind calm, keep your heart peaceful, and look for a sign of your impending victory. Look at this Six of Fire. Good news is on its way. Good news is on its way. Page of Fire, bringing good news. And this interesting water card here, fascinating water card, talking about the silver lining or the hidden treasure. Remember we were talking about that hidden treasure, the wish coming true. Allowing your concerns to fade away, and so that you can have a love of life, because that's what we're all here to do. We're here to love, and we're here to be joyful and to live this life to the fullest, whatever it is that means to you, in your own individual, special, beautiful way. I know that all of us have something good on the horizon if we look for it. So look for the sign. It's on its way. Amazing. All right. This week is kind of crazy. There's a lot going on. Many of us are in really hard places, but many of us also are taking challenges and transforming them in really amazing ways. Releasing those harsh judgments, using ingenuity and creativity to come up with solutions that have never been seen before, that will serve everyone on the planet and that will make such an abundant revolution for everyone that it will be seen as a revolution. That's the powerful thing about these Pluto retrograde periods, Pluto's gone direct, and this hard stuff that we go through in this Uranus-Jupiter opposition energy that we're obviously reaping the benefits of, or dubious results of, but again, they will be transformed into ultimate benefits, because this is what that energy does. Uranus transforms things for the most ideal good. Sometimes it flips the table in that very air sign dramatic way that is sometimes violent and unforeseen and not so welcome at the time, because it's tough. It's that breaking apart, that thing that was just blocking everything and needed to move, and that can be really tough. There can be a lot of collateral damage along the way. Sometimes there's like warlike experiences. Sometimes systems that we all relied on, that we were comfortable with, just get torpedoed without us knowing it. And it can be really, really difficult when that Uranus energy comes in, and it really embodies, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, and again, that Mercury stuff that's coming in this week. Uranus, Mercury, all this being able to see the situation from the outside and see what isn't working and have no emotional attachment to it staying the way it is in the status quo, and just taking the table and flipping it. And we might not appreciate that when it happens, because it can be rough. But in the end, it frees us to alchemically transform into something beautiful and new. And as long as we're practicing forgiveness and compassion, especially for ourselves, during this period, something triumphant is on its way. Complete victory. Good news is on the way. Wow, everyone. So in preparation for that really celebratory Friday the 13th, that lucky Friday the 13th that's coming, and the Venus into Libra energy that is coming at the end of the week, sort of as its reward. This really feels like that too. The wish comes true, or the good news is on its way. It really feels like the end of the week when we slip into that Venus Libra, unconditional love, divine feminine place of nurturing that we all really want. Just like the flower cards we're talking about, the prayers that you've been asking for, the things that you've been praying for. Let's do our victory reward dice and reward ourselves in some sort of bubbly, light, fun way that I encourage you to all do on Friday the 13th, because it's lucky. Remember, it's Lucky Divine Feminine Day. I kind of want to rename it that. Happy Lucky Divine Feminine Day. I'm going to choose one of these dice and take a roll. All right, everyone. Have dinner out. Have dinner out with those people who are the most supportive, the ones who make you feel loved, the ones who make you feel valued. Have dinner out at a place that makes you feel comfortable and happy and nourished in every way. Really good food, good atmosphere, good people. Make it as ideal as you can. If you're meeting with family and friends because you're going through some hard stuff, make it a dinner where you all try your best to remember happy times. Try your best to remember that something good must come out of this hardship that you're going through. Or those of you who are celebrating these victories, because some of you are in this already. Some of you, this is near future for some of you, where your wish comes true, concerns fade away, and you have a love of life. Have dinner to celebrate that. And for those of you going through hard stuff, have dinner to pre-celebrate, because this stuff is on its way to you. It's coming. The guides want you to know. However challenging anything you're going through now, or any information that's going to present itself this week because of those Mercury days, yay! Something good is coming. And you deserve to celebrate that. So have dinner in a place that makes you feel amazing. Oh, and there's a bonus one on the front here. And get a facial. Remember, get a facial? Remember how beautiful and charismatic and loving? That might be great for that end of the week. Yeah, Friday the 13th facial. Yeah, and dinner. in preparation for that unconditional Venus in Libra energy that we're all going to get to reap the benefits of. This really feels like this Nine of Water, end of a cycle, very heart-based, divine feminine, Venus in Libra. So good. All right, everyone. Thank you so very, very much for joining me for this incredibly, wow, transformative reading. I thought the last couple have been like this, have been really transformative, but this one, again, very, very humbling and challenging on many levels. And again, my love goes out to those of you who are really in hard places right now. Remember that the universe does not give you anything that you are not ready for. You are divine and you are powerful beings and you are ready for this. And something good is coming as a result. I know that many of you will not be able to see it right now. And that's valid. I've been in places where I was so sad or so angry that I did not see or even want to see anything good come out of it. But regardless, everything that we are is made of love, and we will eventually go home to love no matter what we're going through right now. And just believe that. Own that. Feel the truth of it in your heart. And love yourselves deeply this week. Stay shiny. If any of you would like your own readings, if you have questions or you want to address specific subjects, I have a services page at shinyallthetime.com. It's shinyallthetime.com/services, or you can find the services page link at the top of any shinyallthetime.com page. I look forward to serving you in any way that you order off of that page. I send my love to you. I encourage you to get out and stay shiny, especially on Friday the 13th. It's, Venus and Libra Day, or lucky divine feminine day. And love, remember, love conquers all. We will all go home to love in the end. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you next time.